Hey, and welcome back. Today we're going to be learning how to estimate our product. Estimate. That's a word I know. That means I'm using my rounding skills. I am using my rounding skills to tell me exactly how close I might get. Now, when I round, it's not going to be exact. It's going to be ish. It'll be in the same ballpark, but it won't be close. So, let's look at number 6. When I'm starting out with multiplying products, I'm always going to have a single-digit factor and a multi-digit factor. The single-digit factor will never change. So I can go ahead and bring that down to my problem. 287. 287. I think to help myself, I might round to the nearest 100. To the nearest 100. So 287. Do you think it would be closest to 300 or 200? You're right. It would be closest to 300. So I'm going to write 300 where it says round 287 to 300. And then I'm going to bring that factor down and write 300 again. Does this look familiar as to what we worked on the other day? It should, because now I can multiply with a 10, 100, or 1,000. So I'm going to find my basic fact. Oh, I see it. 3 times 3. Do you agree? Yeah. What is 3 times 3? You are so smart. It's 9. Now, am I dealing with 100, 1,000, or a 10? That's a tricky question. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to look and see how many zeros I have. How many zeros is that? Right, it's 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2. So I know I'm multiplying by 100 because I have 2 zeros. Because 2 tens is 100. So 3 times 300 equals 900. Let's do another one. This time I'm going to round to the, what place is that? What place is that? Right, it's the thousands place. So 1,310, is that closest to 1,000 or is it closest to 2,000? Right, it's closest to 1,000. So again, single digit factor always comes down. 6 times 1,000, my basic fact, is 6 times 1. 6 times 1 is, yes, 6. I'm dealing with thousands. Good. So how many zeros are left? Right, 3. All right. Now we're going to look at seeing if my answer would be reasonable or not reasonable. They've given me the exact product. I'm going to use my rounding skills to tell me, yes, this would make sense. No, this would not make sense. So again, single digit factor always comes down, at least in 4th grade math. 5th grade math, it gets a little bit different. But in 4th grade, because we're just learning, my single digit always comes down. Now, 486. 486. Would that be closest to 400 or 500? Would that be closest to 400 or 500? You're right, it's 500. Because the 8 tells the 4 to move, add 1 more. So I'm going to bring my 500 down. My basic fact is 7 times 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right, 35. I multiplied by 100, so I have 2 zeros left. So would it be reasonable or not reasonable to say that 3,500 is close-ish to 3,402? Is this reasonable to say, or is it not reasonable to say? You're right, it's reasonable. And the reason is that it's only 98 off. So when you're multiplying, that's pretty close. Let's look at another one. 5 times 1,240 equals 9,200. What do you think I'm going to round 1,242? Right. 1,000. I'm going to round it to 1,000. So 5 times 1,000. Oh, there's my basic fact. 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is? Yeah, it's 5. I multiplied by thousands, so I have 3 zeros left. 9,200, 5,000. Is my estimate reasonable or not reasonable? Is this estimate reasonable or not reasonable? It's not reasonable. It's nowhere close. And the reason is 5,000 is not near 9,000. So I can't say, yes, this sounds good, because that is not even close. Last one. Let's look at 9 times 287. As always, the single digit factor came down. 287. Is that closest to 300 or is it closest to 200? Right, 300. So again, bring your multi-digit factor down. What's my basic fact? You tell me. Right, 9 times 3. That gives me, I'm going to do the nines trick. 1, 2, 3. I have 2 tens, 7 ones, so that gives me 27. I multiplied by 100, so I have 2 zeros. 2,700. 2,583, 2,700. Is this a reasonable estimate or is this a not reasonable estimate? What do you think? Do you think it is a reasonable estimate or not a reasonable estimate? I think it is a very reasonable estimate because they're both in the same thousands and they're not that far off from each other in the hundreds place. So, again, you're not going to be exact or even barely close like you would be with addition and subtraction. But you should be within the same thousand to be able to be a reasonable estimate. You always want to double check to make sure that your estimate will sound right if you say it out loud in a sentence. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope this has helped, and I'll see you guys again really soon.